Hi, welcome to our May Diabetes Support Group meeting. We're first going to start with a recap from our March meeting where Alex spoke about nutrition planning and meal considerations with diabetes. A couple important things about nutrition and diabetes. Following a healthy meal plan can help keep your blood sugars at target range. Management of blood sugars requires balanced eating and drinking with physical activity. Benefits of eating well may include helping with weight loss, helping you feel good and have more energy, and can help prevent or delay diabetes-related complications. Some general principles first. So foods that you can have include vegetables, fruits, grains, protein, and dairy, and then there's specifications within that. So grains, half of that intake should be whole grains. With protein, lean meats are preferred over red meat, and dairy products should opt for the non-fat or low-fat options. As far as foods and drinks to limit, this includes fried foods and other foods high in saturated and trans fat, foods high in sodium, sweets such as baked goods, candy, and ice cream, and then we also want to limit beverages with added sugars, which includes juice, regular soda, and sports or energy drinks. Alex also discussed meal planning with diabetes. So some other topics included carb counting, the plate method, grocery shopping, how to read nutrition labels, and strategies for eating healthy at restaurants. If you would like to find more information about any of these topics, please see our video on the SRHC Facebook page that was posted in March. And with that, I would like to introduce tonight's speaker, Laura Sweeney. She's a physical therapist here at Salina Regional Health Center. She received her Doctor of Physical Therapy from the University of Kansas Medical Center, and we're excited to have her speak this evening.
Hi, my name is Laura, and I'm a physical therapist at Salina Regional's Outpatient Physical Therapy Clinic. And this is Amanda. She's a physical therapy assistant that works at our clinic. We are here to talk today a little bit about exercise and the impacts it can have on managing your diabetes. So why is exercise important? Well, it can help manage your blood sugar levels in a positive way. One study showed that exercise lowered hemoglobin A1C values 0.7 percentage points in a group of individuals. This was independent of their diets, this was independent of their ethnicities, and this improvement occurred even though they did not lose any weight, which is also a benefit of exercise. Another study showed that all forms of exercise, which we will get into later, both aerobic and resistance training, were equally good at lowering A1C values in people with diabetes. A specific study showed that women with diabetes who spent at least 4 hours a week doing moderate to vigorous exercise had a 40% lower risk of developing heart disease compared to those who did not exercise. So that's just another benefit is cardiovascular health. Finally, another study showed that resistance training and aerobic exercise were both helpful in lowering insulin resistance in previously sedentary older adults with abdominal obesity at risk for diabetes. So this just goes to show that it's not too late. You can start at any point in time and still have an impact on insulin resistance. They did find that combining the two types of exercise together proved to be more beneficial than doing either one alone, which is something we will talk to you later about and kind of show you an example of how to pair different types of exercise together.
All right, so when should we exercise? Ideally, 1 to 3 hours after eating when your blood sugar is more likely to be higher. If you use insulin, test your blood sugar beforehand. You want to keep a rule of thumb of less than 100. If your blood sugar is less than 100, then you need to eat a piece of fruit or have a small snack in order to boost it to avoid hypoglycemia. So then after you have that snack, you want to test it in 30 minutes to see whether your blood sugar is stable or not. And then you also want to check it again afterwards. If you are taking insulin, your risk for developing hypoglycemia is highest 6 to 12 hours after exercising. Now also, you don't want it to be too low, you also don't want it to be too high. So they caution against exercising if your blood sugar is higher than 250, because with exercise sometimes it can raise your blood sugar even higher. So always being prepared is something that you need to take upon yourself. Wearing your medical alert bracelet that indicates that you have diabetes, and whether you take insulin is important if you are working out at a gym or in a public place and you have a diabetic incident. They need to be able to treat you correctly and know that you have that on board. And then also keeping hard candy or glucose tablets in case you have that blood sugar drop in your pocket or with you is a good idea.
Okay, so now let's talk a little bit about the different types of exercise. The first one is aerobic exercise. You may know that as cardio. This is what helps strengthen your heart and helps your body use its own insulin better. Examples of this include walking, swimming, biking, jogging. Strength training, or aka resistance training, helps your body build strong bones and muscles. So typically this is what you think about when people go to the gym and they're using machines or hand weights. It is often used, but not necessary. So sometimes just using your own body weight is enough at first. A third type is stretching. This is what increases the flexibility and keeps the range of motion around your joints at a healthy level. This can also be very helpful in injury prevention. So sometimes we have patients do this prior to engaging in any sort of activity. And finally, it's important to not forget balance training. You may see this listed as yoga or Tai Chi. It's very helpful in fall prevention, especially those who have diabetes. If they have neuropathy or peripheral neuropathy, their balance tends to be affected, and so it's important to always consider adding this into your routine to make sure you don't have any injuries with fall. So one good way to begin some aerobic exercise would be walking. You can do this in your neighborhood. You can do this at the park. I know Jerry Ivy has a really nice trail that's marked and well lit. So that would be a great place to begin some aerobic exercise. The downfalls to doing it in your neighborhood would be maybe sidewalks. You have to be very careful to not get tripped up on uneven sidewalks, and it is also weather dependent. A lot of my patients tend to utilize the central mall. It has level surfaces throughout. It's temperature controlled. And they also have well-positioned benches so that in case you need to take a rest break or just need a break, you can have a seat there and then continue on. A more advanced option, this might be something you consider after you're well into your exercise routine, is the Marty Bender Nature Trail that's just right outside of town. It is a 3-mile loop that has nice changes in terrain. They do have benches throughout there too in case you do need a rest. It is a more advanced option, so I probably wouldn't advise you to do that the first thing. Another option would be water walking. We are big advocates for this. It is low impact, which is helpful if you have osteoarthritis, osteoporosis, or fibromyalgia in addition to your diabetes diagnosis. The natural resistance of the water can allow you to burn more calories, which can equate to weight loss, which is another benefit. There's multiple places to do that in town. You know, if you have a pool, great. The Kenwood Cove does water walking classes, or not classes, but there's from 7:15 to 8:15, starting May 31st, you can do water walking in the lazy river. You can walk with or against the current depending on your fitness level. It is seasonal, so another good option would be the YMCA, which has a nice pool and which would allow year-round access, as well as equipment in the gym for resistance training.
All right, so where to begin? So with any type of exercise program, you always want to consult with your physician, making sure that they don't have any precautions or anything that you should look out for. You want to start slow. You don't want to go in and do some huge strength training program that you have no idea what you're doing and you're going to get too sore, and most likely you're going to quit. So 5 to 10 minutes per day is all you need to start, just building from there on a weekly basis. A goal would be to get up to 150 minutes each week, spread out at least over 3 days. So you want to try to avoid more than 2 days in a row without aerobic exercise. And then a good place to start would be getting 10,000 steps a day. That's something easy with walking, like Laura was talking about, getting that 10,000 steps in. All right, so workout routine, you want to try to include 2 to 3 sessions of strength, stretching, balance training into your routine. Incorporate exercise into your daily activity. Use the stairs instead of the elevator. Parking further away at stores. Setting reminders to stand up and move around every 30 minutes is something easy to do that you can do throughout your day to get more exercise in. All right, so accountability, this is a huge thing. We want to keep doing this if we're going to start it. So something that's easy is tracking your movement. Now, Fitbits, you may think, oh, that's expensive, I'm not going to spend the money on that. They have very cheap ones or little pedometers that track your steps and miles. Some of the more advanced ones do have your heart rate in there, and then your sleep and lots of other fun tools. So that's something you can look at and be like, oh, well, I got this many steps today, maybe tomorrow I'm going to go for a little bit longer. The buddy system. So if we have somebody else that's doing it with us, we're more likely to do it. So if you have somebody that is going to do it with you, that's great. They don't have to be diabetic, but somebody that's going to hold you accountable, or somebody that's going to call you. Hey, did you do your workout today? Did you move today? Something that helps you out as well. Now, exercise classes are great. If you don't know where to start, here's a couple places that you can get those at. The YMCA, Genesis, the Senior Center, Parks and Rec, and then also YouTube is a great choice. You can type in literally whatever you want, and it's going to pull up a lot of things. You may have to filter through a little bit, but and those are really nice. I like them personally because I don't have to think. Like, they're telling me what to do, and I just do it. And there's also personal trainers. They're going to get a little bit more specific as to what you want to do. They're going to address your goals a little bit differently, but they do cost a little bit of money. All right, so an example. So 150 minutes, what's that look like? So Monday, we're going to go on a 30-minute walk at the Central Mall. It's indoors, pretty easy. All right, Tuesday, we're going to try a 20-minute strength training session at either on YouTube or at the local gym, just 20 minutes. Wednesday, 30-minute walk at the mall again. Thursday, we're going to just do a 10-minute stretching routine. You can use YouTube for that too if you don't know what to stretch, or just stretch whatever feels tight. Friday, we're going to do a 20-minute walk around the neighborhood. So instead of going to the mall, we're going to go outside. It's a nice day. Saturday, 30-minute yoga class at Parks and Rec. And then Sunday, 10 minutes working on balance. So as you can see, none of these were more than 30 minutes a day. It's pretty attainable when we put it together like that and spread it out. Alone, 150 minutes can sound kind of intimidating. You're like, oh, I don't even know how many hours that is, or So, but putting in an example like this makes it a lot more attainable and can be adjusted to whatever you want to do.
And we were able to get all aspects of the different types of training in on this program.
Yep.
If you're going to be gone certain days, you can certainly do more on one day or the other. Make it fit to your routine. So now, if for any reason pain is limiting you from beginning any type of movement or exercise program, or you really have some more specific questions, definitely ask your physician for a referral to come see us. We are just south of the hospital, and we would be more than willing to help try to get you onto a healthy movement routine. And as you can see, we're a pretty fun group, and we're here to help. Thank you.
Thank you for that presentation. We're going to wrap up this evening with a couple final points. If you have any topics you would like us to discuss in future videos, or if you have any questions for us, please email us at diabetessupportgroup@srhc.com. We would like to thank the SRHC Foundation. They provide financial support for these meetings, and we really do appreciate all of their help. And lastly, our next video will be in June. Look for our advertisements on the Facebook page and the SRHC website. And if you would like to receive notifications about the next meeting, or would like us to email video links to you, you can reach us again at diabetessupportgroup@srhc.com. Thank you.